Picture this: World War II, skies filled with roaring engines, and the sleek silver P-51 Mustang, the Cadillac of the skies, dominating the air. It was fast, agile, and had the range to escort bombers all the way to Berlin and back. American pilots loved it, and German pilots feared it. On paper, it was nearly perfect. But perfection is a rare thing in warfare, and the Mustang had a secret, a fatal flaw hiding in plain sight. A single well-placed bullet could bring this magnificent warbird down, not with a fiery explosion, but with a slow, silent, and terrifying descent. What was this Achilles heel, and how did it turn dogfights into deadly gambles? The story of the P-51 is one of incredible innovation. When the war began, Allied bombers were flying deep into enemy territory without fighter protection, and they were getting slaughtered. The existing fighters just didn't have the legs for the trip. The British came to North American aviation with a request for a new fighter, and in a whirlwind of engineering genius, the Mustang was born. It was good, but it became great with the addition of the legendary Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. Suddenly, the Allies had a fighter that could outrun, outclimb, and outturn almost anything the Luftwaffe threw at it. But the real game changer was its range. To achieve this, the Mustang was packed with fuel. It had wing tanks, of course, but the key to its long legs was a massive 85-gallon fuselage tank installed right behind the pilot's seat. This tank was a blessing and a curse. It allowed the escorts to stay with the bombers, fend off German interceptors, and dramatically reduce bomber losses. Pilots like Chuck Yeager and Don Blakesley became aces, racking up victories and saving countless lives, all thanks to the Mustang's incredible endurance. Here's where the problem lies. The heart of the Mustang's superiority was also its greatest vulnerability. It wasn't the engine, the wings, or the pilot. It was the cooling system. Like any high-performance piston engine, the Merlin generated immense heat. To keep it from melting, it relied on a liquid coolant, a mixture of glycol and water that circulated through the engine and then down to a large radiator. This entire cooling system was housed in a distinctive doghouse scoop on the underside of the fuselage, directly beneath that big fuselage fuel tank. Inside the scoop were the delicate pipes and radiators for both the engine coolant and the oil. Now, imagine you're a German pilot in an FW-190, and a P-51 is on your tail. You can't outrun it. You can't outclimb it. Your best shot is a desperate, lucky deflection shot. If just one of your cannon shells or even a few machine gun rounds found their way into that big, inviting belly scoop, the fight was over for the Mustang pilot. A punctured coolant line was a death sentence. The glycol mixture, under high pressure and temperature, would instantly start spraying out. On the instrument panel, the pilot would see the coolant temperature needle shoot into the red. Within minutes, the powerful Merlin engine would seize up, starved of its lifeblood. The propeller would stop spinning, and the once mighty fighter would become a 10,000-pound glider. There was no fire, no explosion, just a terrifying silence. The pilot was left with a stark choice: bail out over hostile territory and face capture, or try to glide the powerless aircraft as far as possible, hoping to find a friendly field or at least a patch of ground that wouldn't kill him on landing. Countless pilots shared this harrowing experience. One moment they were engaged in a swirling, high-G dogfight, the next they were nursing a dead airplane, the only sound the whistling of the wind over the canopy. Ace pilot Don Gentile was nearly killed when his Mustang, Shangri-La, took a hit in the cooling system. He managed to glide back towards England, his engine completely seized, and bellied it in on a coastal field. He was lucky. Another pilot, Lieutenant Bill Sachs, described the experience vividly. During a massive dogfight, he felt a thump and saw his temperature gauge skyrocket. He knew immediately what had happened. He broke off the engagement and began a long, lonely glide from 20,000 feet, his squadron mates circling above him protectively until he was out of enemy airspace. He made it back, but the memory of that helplessness, of the silence where a roaring engine should be, stayed with him forever. So why wasn't this fixed? The truth is, it was a fundamental design compromise. Placing the radiator in the belly was aerodynamically efficient. It created what was known as the Meredith effect, where the heated air exiting the radiator actually produced a small amount of thrust, offsetting the drag of the scoop itself. It was a brilliant piece of engineering that contributed to the Mustang's speed. Moving the entire cooling system would have required a massive redesign, something that was simply not feasible in the middle of a war. The designers at North American Aviation were aware of the vulnerability. Later models of the Mustang incorporated some extra armor plating around the cooling system, but it was a patch, not a cure. The fundamental weakness remained. It was a calculated risk. The strategic advantage of the Mustang's range was deemed more important than the tactical vulnerability of its cooling system, and history proved them right. The P-51's presence over Germany broke the back of the Luftwaffe, allowing the Allied bombing campaign to succeed and shortening the war. But for the individual pilot, this strategic calculation meant little when his temperature gauge was redlining. They flew knowing that a single lucky shot, not even aimed at the engine or cockpit, could bring them down. It was a testament to their courage and skill that they flew mission after mission, escorting the big friends and tangling with enemy fighters, all while sitting atop this beautifully engineered, yet deeply flawed machine. The P-51 Mustang remains an icon, a symbol of American air power and a war-winning weapon. But its story is also a powerful reminder that in engineering, and especially in war, every design is a series of compromises. The very thing that made the Mustang great, its incredible range, enabled by that fuselage tank and its efficient cooling system, was also its hidden, fatal flaw. It's a paradox that makes the story of the pilots who flew it, and the victories they won, all the more remarkable. So next time you see a P-51 Mustang at an air show, listen to the glorious sound of that Merlin engine. But also remember the silent danger that lay beneath it, and the brave pilots who flew it, knowing that their Cadillac of the skies could become a glider in the blink of an eye. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you found this story fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into military history and technology. Let me know in the comments if there are any other legendary machines you'd like to see covered. See you in the next one.